So, are we doing this again? Yep. Hello everyone, I'm Rosa. Welcome. We are doing another 24-hour readathon. I was having so much fun with the last one that I decided to basically do another one here in November. For the last one, the TBR was pretty set. I had 3 books that I knew that I wanted to read, and I read them. This month, all I know is for sure that I'm reading The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. As for the other 2 books, I think I'm gonna go into XOXO by Axie Oh, and perhaps also, I don't have a physical copy of it, but Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas, because that is a buddy read that I'm doing with 2 of my friends. But like I said, it's not fully set yet, so I don't know. There are also 3 thinner books, so like this is only 350 pages. I might be able to read something else as well. I don't really know. I also don't know how much I'm gonna nap. I had to do that a couple of times during the last one. But for this one, I have prepared, okay? So I think what I'm gonna start out with, it's currently 10 minutes to 9. You can barely see that, can you? The exposure on my monitor is a lot brighter than it is on my TV, or on my TV, on my computer. So you might actually be able to see it, but it's, well, now it's 8 minutes to 9. We're gonna start at 9, and I'm not gonna stop until 9 tomorrow. I'm gonna read for 24 hours, maybe with some naps, with a lot of snacks as well. And I've prepared. I slept late today, so hopefully I don't have to take any naps, but we'll see. Gonna start out with The Song of Achilles though, by Madeline Miller, and I am so excited for this. So I'm gonna read out the synopsis because, you know, we need to get acquainted a little bit before jumping into it. So, ooh, brims with rugged sexuality. I'm already hooked. What the heck? Okay. Greece in the Age of Heroes. Awkward young prince Patroclus has been exiled to the court of King Peleus? ? Despite their differences, Peleus' golden boy Achilles befriends the shamed prince. As they grow into young men, their bond blossoms into something deeper, despite the displeasure of Achilles' mother, the sea goddess Thetis. Thetis. Man, Greek names are so difficult to pronounce in English, like it's confusing. But when word comes that Helen of Sparta has been kidnapped, Achilles must go to war in distant Troy and fulfill his destiny. Torn between love and fear for his friend, Patroclus goes with him. And that is that. Patroclus, don't make rash decisions. Okay, but I have heard a lot of good things about this. I am expecting heartbreak at some point, possibly around midnight. We'll see. It'll be a good time. So yeah, we're going into The Song of Achilles first. I'm gonna get some tea, I'm gonna get ready, and I hope you guys are excited for this little journey with me over the next 24 hours. Yeah. So I'm about 75 pages into it so far. I'll admit, I was afraid for a second that I wasn't going to like the way that it was written, but I've gotten used to it now, and also there was like a big name dump all of a sudden, or like, you know what I mean. But that's fine, because they're not characters that are staying with us, so we're all good. I was just like really lost for a second. That was a lot of names. But so far so good. It's a very interesting journey to be on. So I'm gonna go sit on either. No, I'm probably gonna go sit in bed because it's very comfortable. I can't feel my butt from sitting in this chair. It's just not a good reading chair, so I'm gonna go sit on my bed now and put on a little bit of music and chill with my book. So yeah, but so far so good. I was just a little bit concerned for a second. I was a little bit afraid, but we're good now. My Spotify keeps crashing. So annoying. Why is that happening? Stop crashing. So I'm on page 142. Just done with chapter 13. What the heck's going on? What's happening here? I have questions. I don't What? I'm not gonna say anything. Don't worry. I'm not spoiling anything. I'm just confused. What? Anyway, I'm gonna continue reading now. I just have questions. I'm very confused. Not with the story, just with the actions made, okay? Anyway, yeah. Back to reading. Okay, so it's almost 4. It took a lot longer to read this than I thought it would. Or like an hour longer. I hate everyone who's ever told me to read this book, okay? If my eyes look pink, it's because I've been tearing up a lot and I don't appreciate that. Not one bit. I'm fine. This is brutal. Really brutal. Mean. Evil. Heartbreaking. I don't even know what to say right now. Oh, I'm not okay. Anyway, yeah, so this was very, I almost said beautiful, but I just want to call it brutal. Very lyrical? Is that how you say it? Lyrical? So it took me a little bit to get into it, to be honest, because it's not a writing style that I'm particularly used to. However, I did enjoy it. I just had to get, like, into it. Plus, I did mention there was, like, a name dump at the start, which was a little bit confusing. You're kind of eased into, like, you have to remember those names for later on, which can be difficult, but you're kind of introduced to the characters again in a way that makes it a little bit easier. But this was touching. It was a lot of things, to be honest. It's a story that's a lot of things. Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this when I'm in a better headspace with less wet eyes. I just need to digest it, okay? I'm not a very emotional person, I wouldn't say, but this was just brutal. Just brutal, okay? So I'm gonna read something that's a little bit lighter and a little bit, hopefully, more feel good. Because I feel like I need that right now. Actually, I was having issues with the last, like, I want to say 10 pages because I'm at a point where I'm kind of so hungry that I feel nauseous, so I need to eat something before I move on. But I'm gonna get into XOXO by Axie Oh, which will hopefully be a little bit more feel good, less tearjerker, just less brutal and out to break my heart. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do once I gather my wits again. Oh man. Ugh. I'm fine, okay, I'm fine. It's not even funny. I'm okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna go get some food, make a cup of tea, and we're like 7 hours into the readathon, so this should be a faster read though. I think it's also 350 pages, 340, but there's fewer lines on the papers, so it'll be a little bit faster to read. This was more tightly packed, if you will. But basically, XOXO is about a girl called Jenny who plays the violin. It's a violin. Dang it, it's cello. She plays the cello. She's an award-winning cellist. Good for you, Jenny. Anyway, but she meets Jae-woo, who is a very mysterious, handsome young man. And he apparently just, like, shakes up her world a little bit, so it's not all about practice. But then Jae-woo has to go back to Seoul for reasons that are unexplained, at least in the synopsis. We'll see in the book. Something happens in Jenny's family, though, which causes her to have to move to Seoul as well. And once she arrives, she learns that Jae-woo is actually a K-pop star. And K-pop stars are not supposed to date. So that is a thing as well. That's what this book is about. I'm looking forward to it. If you haven't seen the naked cover, it looks like this and it's super cute. Just like, yeah. It's just cute. I mean, it's the cover, but it's on the naked cover. So I feel like this will be... I just need to take a breather, okay? I'm still tearing up. I really don't like it. Anyway, I feel like this will be a nice, lighter read. Maybe a little bit more feel good. So I'm gonna go get a bun and a cup of tea now and just take a breather. And then I'm gonna get started reading again. We're good here, okay? We're good. We're fine. 24-hour readathon is going well, okay? So I got my tea. Yay. Ooh, I almost took that. Why would I do that? And I also got my book. Honestly, this is quite cute. She's just realized that he's a K-pop star, so things are gonna go down. Yeah, I read a little bit of it already, but I'm gonna go hang out in my bed again and continue reading. I think I'm gonna need a nap once I'm like almost done with the book, so I might try to push it until after, but we'll see. It's cute though. It's definitely more feel good than the Song of Achilles, which I needed because honestly, I still kind of feel emotionally broken. So thank you for that. But I'm gonna go read now and enjoy my tea. Yes. Haven't really checked in much over the past couple of hours, but I finished XOXO. It's currently 20 minutes past 9, so I have, let's say, 11 and a half hours left of the readathon, and I am tired. Like, I am tired. I'm tired to the point where I feel like I'm just tearing up whenever I laugh or yawn or anything. So my hair is so annoying. Please just go away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a nap. Yes, I'm gonna take a nap. However, I did enjoy it. It was very easy to digest after reading the Song of Achilles. It was what I needed because that was a hard hitter and this was a little bit more light and fun. Was it an amazing book? No, but I had a good time reading it. So all my neighbors are literally doing stuff right on the other side of the wall. And here I am talking to my camera. Yeah. Anyway, it's fine. My piercing gets so annoying when I've been wearing headphones for a long time. Anyway, it was cute. We'll talk a little bit more about it once I wrap up the readathon. At some point I'll probably do like a little bit on cam Monday after I've had some sleep. Proper night sleep, yeah, not just the nap that I'm about to take. And then after that, oh gosh, do I want to read Punk 57? I'm not sure what to do. Should I read Punk 57? Oh no. I think I'm gonna take an hour-long nap. I think that'll be fine. Yeah. Then I'll still have 10 hours left, right? Yeah. So that is what I'm gonna do. And then when I wake up, I'll figure out what to read. So I'm gonna go brush my teeth. Something that's important to remember if you stay up for a very long time. Still brush your teeth, okay? It's important. Anyway, I'm gonna go follow my own advice now. So I'll check in with you guys when I wake up for breakfast and I'll figure out what to read then. Yes, because I cannot make decisions right now. All I know is I got a nap, so I'll see you. Good morning. I don't feel well rested, so anyway, it's gonna be a long day. So it's 1:45. I'm tired. I'm really tired. However, I woke up, right, I think at 11:15. It took me ages to fall asleep, so I've probably slept like 40 minutes total. I cannot get out of bed. I cannot get out of bed. And instead of trying to get out of bed, I decided to pick out my phone and start looking at, you know, book art. Same old usual. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. And now we have 8 hours and 15 minutes left of the readathon. But like, I found Ars28, who's done a lot of art for Fairy Loot and also Illuminate, and I just started going through all their stuff. It's beautiful. This is Addie LaRue. I don't know if it's is it Henry? Yeah. And then Dangerous Guy in the background. So beautiful. Also, this dude kind of makes me want to read Sorcery of Thorns. I don't know, like, I'm just saying, I have the book, I've not read it, so that's a thing now. But I'm gonna have my breakfast and I've decided to stick to my original plan, so we're gonna read Punk 57, but I only have it on Kindle. So this is a buddy read with two buddies of mine. It's a buddy read with two friends of mine. Oh, it comes with a soundtrack as well. Cool. I know none of these songs. Wait, no, I know Skater Boy. I know Skater Boy and Wildest Dreams. Okay, well, I'm gonna get to it, because I want to finish this book before the readathon is over. And it's telling me that it's going to take me 4 hours to finish it, so better get started. I think this one is about two pen pals. As kids, they were pen pals, and then, like, this is just my guess of the synopsis, because I don't really fully remember it, but two kids that became pen pals, and they were pen pals for years until the boy wants to meet the girl, and then he meets her, and he kind of hates whatever she is. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing it's like a friends to enemies to lover situation. I don't know, we'll see. Some people also call this book problematic. I don't see how it is from the synopsis, so again, we'll see. But I'm gonna get to it. Yes, we're gonna read Punk 57, and if we got time after that, we'll figure some other book out. Yes, so I'm gonna get started. So I wanted to give you a bit of an update before the sun goes down. It's like 3:30. I'm also making early dinner, so if you can hear something in the background, it's just my oven. But I am 45% through, 45% into, you know what I mean, Punk 57. I like it. It's quite toxic, isn't it? I don't know, like, it's quite toxic. Penelope Douglas is not this. Can I leave this here? Oof. Okay. Penelope Douglas is not exactly known for writing the most clean romance books. I do like her stuff, but some of it definitely turns a little toxic at times. If you've read Bully, this kind of leans a little bit towards that. Like, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it, but we definitely have an enemy situation going on, which I also said before. I was kind of expecting it, but I like it. It's written in her usual way. It's not like overly smutty either, at all, to be honest. But there is, I would say there's the question of toxicity and maybe codependence or something. I don't really know. Definitely something going on, so. But I'm enjoying it so far. And even though about an hour ago I was about to fall asleep while reading. I am so tired. So anyway. Just wanted to give you an update before the sun goes down because the lighting in my living room turns really bad when it's dark outside. It's really only like we only have the sun for like 8 hours. I want to say it's between 6 and 8 hours, and it's still gonna get worse for another month. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to it before I have to eat my lasagna. But so far so good. Just yeah, I don't know how much I can say because I really don't want to spoil anything. So just a little toxic is all, but that was kind of to be expected, I think. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. Still, yeah. So I'll give you guys another update later. So I finished Punk 57. I want to say it took me an hour longer than I thought it would, but also disregard the comment that I made about the book not being particularly smutty. I don't know what happened after I said that, but something happened, okay? So yeah. It was smutty, quite smutty. Anywho, I thought it was, I could see why some people would say that it's toxic, but also I'm not sure that I fully agree per se. Penelope Douglas didn't let me down with the book. I have enjoyed other books of hers. I read Birthday Girl recently that I did not enjoy because of the age gap, but I've read books from her in the past that I really enjoyed, and this one did not disappoint me compared to those books. So I had a good time. It was just funny that after that suddenly, I don't know what happened. Yeah, and it's written in her usual way. It's a little bit gritty, you know, language, smut, perhaps some toxic traits here and there. I don't want to call them toxic traits, but her characters are usually not perfect. So I think that's a good way of looking at it. They're not perfect. So, oh my gosh, what was it? There was actually a quote which will sum up her characters pretty well, I think. Look at me taking highlights or making highlights in the text. Where are my highlights at? It says, "We're all ugly, Ryan. The only difference is some hide it and some wear it." So I think that sums up her characters pretty well, at least to a degree. Her characters are good at showing their ugliness. So it's currently 7:10, which means that it's still too early to go to bed. I am super tired. So what I think I'm gonna do is I found out that on Kindle Unlimited, we're gonna talk more about Punk 57 at the end of this video. So if you want a longer wrap up, don't worry, I'll get to it. I'll record that tomorrow after I've slept through the night. I just wanna make sure that I don't miss out on stuff that I wanna say, but I found out that the first of the Steel Prince, would you call those comic books, graphic novels? I don't know what we're gonna call them. Oh, we can call them both. Anyway, that's on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm gonna read this. I think it'll be a short read. It's only 112 pages, and it's a comic book as well. So I'm gonna read this before I go to bed, and I'm gonna wrap it up tomorrow. And I'm also gonna start House of Earth and Blood, which I will not be able to finish because it's 800 pages. But I'm gonna start it, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it as well in the wrap up tomorrow. So also color-wise, like, hold on a second. I don't know, I feel like there's a color scheme situation going on here. I don't know about you, but I sense a theme. Because I really want to read this one before the month is over as well. So I figure today is as good a time as any to start it. And I'm actually really like, I get butterflies thinking about starting this book. Butterflies. So yes, even though she's a thick one. You can't really see it, but this is 800 pages. I'm pretty sure. Yep, 800 pages. Look at the end pages in this book. They are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just stunning. So that is what I'm gonna do. Just chill out with my comic book and then, or graphic novel. If you don't know, the Steel Prince is Rye or Reese. What's his name? I don't know how to pronounce it. R-H-Y. He's the prince in Shades of Magic. But his dad, Maxime Maresh, this is him. So it's basically about the king before he became the king and why he's called the Steel Prince, because that also comes up in the books. So it's like a prequel situation and I want to know. And I'll probably get sucked into it and I'll have to buy the second and the third book, but that is fine. We all have to make sacrifices, right? Okay. And I will sacrifice my wallet at any time, especially if it means new books. Anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna stop filming for the day because my eyelids are puffy as heck. But it's just way too tired to go to bed still, and I'm not done with the readathon. I still got 2 hours left, so you know, gotta make the best of it. But yeah, I will see you all for a wrap up tomorrow, and now I'm gonna go take off my makeup, do some skincare, use a sheet mask. Oh, I love sheet masks, and just relax and hopefully not fall asleep on the couch. But yep, I'll see you all tomorrow. So my friends, it is Tuesday. I know that I said I was gonna wrap it up Monday, but we'll get to why. So I ended up reading a total of 4 books from start to finish. The books were A Song of Achilles, I read XOXO, I also read Punk 57, and I ended up reading, is it volume 1 to 4 of The Steel Prince, which is a graphic novel. 2 of them obviously on my iPad through Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have them as physical copies. And then, to top it off, I ended up reading, or I ended up starting Crescent. No, that's not what it's called. House of Earth and Blood. But, see, the thing is, I started this Sunday evening, and I was so tired Monday, like, completely just exhausted, that I ended up actually lying on the couch all day reading House of Earth and Blood. So technically, I've done a 48-hour readathon, but I'm just gonna call it 24. Also, I finished this last night because I decided not to sleep so I could finish this. This is why I don't read Sarah J Maas, because I can't stop myself. I finished the book in 1 day. That was not supposed to happen, but also I loved it. So do I regret it? No. So let's talk a little bit about these books, especially the 2 ones that I haven't really talked about so much. I feel like I have a clearer head now that I've, well, not slept last night, but slept between Sunday and Monday at least. That was needed, and I'm gonna make sure I go to bed early-ish tonight, as early as I can. Anyway, so I started out with The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is historical fiction, fantasy, mythology, romance, heavy on the romance, and brutal. Really freaking brutal. And I don't even, oh my gosh. I think I managed to say after I finished it that I'm not normally a very emotional person. You can ask my mom. She'd agree. I'm not. But this broke me on some level that I still don't fully understand. It was beautiful. Beautifully written, lyrical. It's both a coming of age story about Patroclus and also Achilles, but it's also a coming out story because we have their love story. And obviously we know the story of Achilles, and you know, not exactly the happiest ending for him, so in that way it's also a tragedy. And then there's this, you know, spin on it obviously because it's a retelling. So I'm not gonna tell you what's going down, but I was not happy for a while afterwards because this book broke me. And for that it deserves a 5 stars. Honestly. I don't want to dwell on it too much because I'm just gonna start tearing up again, so I'm gonna move on. Yeah, okay. Then I read XOXO by Axie Oh, which is YA fantasy. No, it's not YA fantasy. So YA contemporary romance. We have some K-pop vibes. I think I summed this up during the video, along with also Song of Achilles, so we're not gonna go into synopses here, at least not with these two books, or the next one. This was what I needed after reading the Song of Achilles, because this is feel good. This is just cute, happy vibes. We have some kind of forbidden romance in there, some secret dating and stuff, and it was cute with likable characters, but it was like surface level, which I kind of also expect from a YA contemporary romance. I don't expect like heavy subjects or anything like that, at least not too much of it, and this was definitely just like a lighter kind of read, so I enjoyed it. It was really what I needed, but it wasn't like super special in any way, so I'm gonna end up giving it a 3.8 out of 5, I want to say, because it is cute. It's well written, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Just doesn't really have that spark, you know? But definitely needed after the Song of Achilles. So yeah. Then after that I read Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. It's a buddy read with a couple of friends of mine. I don't actually know if they've read it yet. So it might end up being not a buddy read. I don't know. But would you call that it's a new adult contemporary romance. I want to call it it's a bit on the darker side, isn't it? Without being too dark. I don't really know. There's also limits to how dark you can make a romance, a contemporary, when it involves high school kids. High school teenagers, 18-year-olds. I think they were 18. I'm pretty sure. So technically not kids, but still teenagers. I did go into this one I didn't really know what to expect, except everyone said that it was really, really smutty. And also some people have voiced concerns about the book as like in regards to toxicity and stuff. And I do see where they're coming from, but I also don't necessarily fully agree with them. I don't see huge issues. I might have missed something, so if you've read the book and you have a different opinion, please let me know. But I don't think it was like swimming in issues, if you will. And it definitely took a turn at some point, because the first half I was like, why are people exaggerating? This is tame. This is really tame. Like, what's going on? Maybe I'm just very adult and it doesn't really faze me. But then I don't know what happened. Something happened and I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh, it's so limited what you can say about this, because I really don't want to give anything away, except that I think it's kind of marketed as enemy or friends to enemies to lovers, and it is kind of that, although not like, well, yeah, it is that. So I'm a sucker for an enemies to lovers. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like amazing. It didn't touch me in any emotional kind of way. So I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 for that. Yeah, I don't know. I really gotta read some more Penelope Douglas, I think. But possibly with characters that are maybe just a little bit older. Yeah, I feel. Yeah. So, and then after that I read, I'm gonna see if I can fully remember what happened in this because at this point I was so tired. But I read The Steel Prince, which is, I think it's volume 1 to 4, The Steel Prince, and it's by V. Schwab, by the way. It takes place in the same world as Shades of Magic does, the trilogy. I loved that trilogy, so I was really interested going into this one because it's about Rye's dad. I don't know how to say his name. Maxim Miresh, or Maxim. And as a person who doesn't really read a lot of graphic novels, it was definitely fun. I love book art, as I keep saying, and seeing like characters that I've read about in Shades of Magic, like drawn like that in this book was really fun. Also, I love the art style as well. Yeah, it's issues 1 to 4. So I read issues 1 to 4, but it's volume 1. There we go. It takes place before Shades of Magic, before the first one, like way before the first one. But basically we just follow Maxime, who has been not exiled, he's just kind of been sent off by his dad, the king of Red London, to a city that's not super clean, as in it's kind of crime ridden, and there's stuff going on, and that's all I'm gonna say. But I enjoyed it. I'm not really, like I said, I don't really read a lot of graphic novels, so it's hard for me to compare it to anything, and therefore I ended up giving it a 3.7 out of 5 just because I don't really know where to put it, but I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like super amazing either, but I did enjoy it, so yeah. And then I started reading House of Earth and Blood, and I'll admit the first day, Sunday, I only ended up reading like 60 pages or something, and then I went to bed and picked it up the next day. But I finished the book. So let's talk a little bit about it anyway. I'll probably talk a little bit more about these books in my reading wrap up, I think. But basically, In this book, we follow Bryce Quinlan, who's half human and half fae, in a city where humans are they are looked down upon. So it's like a city where a lot of these different races, like witches and shifters and fae and vampires, they're all like gathered here. There's a lot to track, a lot to remember. But it's explained in a good way, so it's not confusing per se. I would say, at least. I don't think it's confusing. If you're not used to fantasy, you might be a little bit confused going into it, but as someone who reads a lot of fantasy, it wasn't that bad. But anyway, synopsis, because I didn't explain this one before reading it Sunday, before reading some of it, before starting it, so let's just do that. But we follow Bryce, who has some friends that are unfortunately in a tragedy murdered, and the suspect of these murders is thrown into jail, but then 2 years later, while the murderer is in jail, new killings happen. And Bryce is kind of like forced into working on this, investigating this situation and like figuring out what's going on. And she's also forced into working with, yes, Hunt, who is a fallen angel. And it's fun, but also really, it's a lot of things. I don't want to say what I felt when reading this because I don't want to spoil anything. But I really, really enjoyed this read. I am a sucker for Sarah J. Maas, and I know every time I pick up a book of hers that I'm gonna have issues putting it down because her writing style just really vibes with me, and her characters vibe with me, and her stories are perfect for me. It's been like that ever since I picked up Throne of Glass back in 2016. Like, everything I've read from her, everything. As if it's not just Throne of Glass, Tar, and now this. But still, I just love it. So I don't know what it is. They just really vibe with me. And this was no exception, which is also why I could not put it down yesterday. And I read until I finished the book. I did not sleep last night. It's fine. I'll get some sleep tonight. But it made me feel a lot of things, and for that, I also give it a 5 out of 5. So... Do I think this is just as good as Echo Math? No, but I think it's better than Tar and also Echo War. So the first and the third book in the Tar series. And I'm looking forward to the next one, which is coming out in February, so yeah. But I'll talk a little bit more about these books in my monthly reading wrap-up, I think, if I have more to say. I don't know, I'm just a sucker for Sarah J. Maas. It's a problem, honestly. I lose sleep over it. Your girl has issues. Anyway, I feel like I did pretty good in this 24-hour readathon. Technically 48 hours, but we're gonna call it 24 because I didn't film Monday, so it's just a 24. But I felt like since I started the book Sunday, the last one, and finished it before doing this like ending of the video, I would just talk about it anyway. But yeah, I did pretty good. So if you want to see more 24-hour readathons from me, let me know. I will probably be able to do another one in December before leaving for like family stuff, obviously with it being December and we celebrate Christmas. So let me know though if you want to see more. And if you've read any of these books, let me know your opinions on them. Let me know if you have any recommendations. And that is all. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. And also if you're new here and you want to hang out and talk about books with me and everyone in the comments, consider hitting the subscribe button as well. And that is all I got for you today. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye.